What's up, everybody? Online Prep Coach Alex here with prepcoach.com, and I wanted to talk a little bit about recomping. This was a video request from a while ago, and it's kind of hard to make, but I want to talk about basically how I first started, at least recomping people very well, because it's something that I'm very well known for, something that I got very good at very early on. With naturals, with enhanced guys, it's obviously a lot easier with enhanced guys, but it's still something I want to talk about. So let's rewind. I remember, and I can't remember where it was at, but I was basically reading a post by Dante Trudell. Again, you guys know I love Dante, very good guy, and he was talking about this theory called G-flux. Okay, so but I didn't know what that meant, so I obviously Googled it. I started asking questions, started, learning from other people. And essentially what G-flux is the amount of calories taken in versus the calories expended. So if you were to say take in 3,000 calories and yet burn 3,000 calories, what's going to happen? A lot of people are going to say you're going to stay the same. But what ends up happening is a complete, I don't want to say magical revolution, but this theory of G-flux is really how you can gain the most amount of muscle tissue, the most amount of strength in the shortest amount of time while not putting on excess amounts of body fat. What ends up happening is there's just a host of benefits to playing around with G-flux. But I remember at the time I thought, okay, if I could do this with people, essentially what we could do is turn them into muscle building machines and fat burning machines. And again, that's probably another quote from Dante, because I'm reading him saying things exactly like this. And so I start implementing it. I get a client. We would talk about trying to recomp. We would start recomping. And with natural guys, you need a lot of patience. Not only a lot of patience, but things are going to change whenever you're looking at natural people versus enhanced guys. Now, from the natural aspect and from the enhanced aspect, we're looking at training being the exact same thing. We are looking at hitting every possible mechanism of hypertrophy possible and really focusing on progressive overload. No matter what, you're always going to have periods of higher volume and lower volume, higher intensity, lower intensity, higher frequency and lower frequency. That's just the way things work, because over time you're going to get burnt out. I know for myself right now, I'm coming up about 9 or 10 weeks post show, and I've been pushing progressive overload, very low volume for this entire time, and it's starting to catch up with me. Joints are starting to hurt, I'm starting to ache, and so I'm most likely going to have to adjust over to a higher volume program. Now, obviously, whenever you're adjusting programs, your nutrition has to follow. Whenever you are doing obviously a higher volume program, whenever you're looking at more of the enhanced guys, that's whenever you can get away with doing different things peri-workout to enhance hyperemia and to enhance blood flow and nutrient partitioning. Whenever you're looking at natural guys, you're looking at essentially the same thing, not using those kind of compounds, but obviously really pushing intra-workout nutrition. And obviously the balance is going to change from protein and carbohydrates depending on what you personally need. But it really started off with this theory of G-flux, realizing that, okay, if I can basically have them being at, we'll say at not at maintenance, but basically averaging, eating so many calories, but yet burning off so many because of hard, intense weight training, then theoretically, we should be putting on only lean muscle tissue and potentially even losing body fat. So I started doing this, time goes on, and, you look at pictures, 6-month difference from some of my natural guys. They look night and day difference. They were only a pound or two up or down, basically because of water fluctuations, but yet they look like they gained 10 pounds of muscle. They look like they lost 10 pounds of body fat. Then you start working with enhanced guys, and from an enhanced aspect, it's even faster. I'm talking about 1 month or 2 months sometimes versus the 6 to 12 months for a natural guy. And with these enhanced guys, what you can do is implement one of my more favorite protocols, which if done wrong, you're going to completely screw yourself up. This is partially why I didn't want to bring up this topic, because if you screw it up, you're just going to be running in place, wasting a lot of time, and you can't enjoy your health. And that's the obvious usage of DMP and insulin. That's a very simple way to create windows of growth and windows of fat loss. Okay, so instead of having to utilize cardio as much as a natural guy, you can go away with not doing any cardio at all. And not only that, but really maximizing your growth and your recovery using insulin, using DMP. And so I'd continue doing this. I would experiment, and these enhanced guys were starting to grow. And I'm talking about staying within 5 to 10 pounds. There's a greater water fluctuation with enhanced guys. But looking at the physique, and they looked like they moved up a weight class in a couple months. And you just take a step back and, you start to think, okay, how can I make this even better? How can I make this even better for both parties, for natural and enhanced guys? Well, now you start playing around with implementing mini cuts and not only taking advantage of that rebound, but really taking advantage of the G-flux rebound. Okay, so what I mean by that is after a diet, not only cranking up your actual caloric expenditure via weight training, but cranking up your actual calories and lowering down your cardiovascular work. There's so many different ways that you can recomp people, and it really does come down to the person. Looking on the enhanced side of things, you look at taking advantage of different growth pathways. So you look at taking advantage of, obviously, your anabolics. You have injectables, you have orals. You look at taking advantage of growth hormone. You look at taking advantage of insulin. You look at taking advantage of all these different growth factors and pathways for growth. And then, for some guys that are pushing their pro card and they're at the higher dosage range, then you look into some theories out there about basically super physiological amounts of these compounds, and then that opens up a whole nother pathway that I don't believe anyone even knows what happens at that level. Point I'm trying to make is there are 1,000 ways to do this, but I hope this video kind of gives you an idea. Start researching G-flux, start understanding it. Now the issue is, and this is why I didn't want to make this video originally, a lot of people I made a video like this a really long time ago on my YouTube channel, and months go by, and then I had people reaching out to me basically cursing me out, yelling at me via email or via a Facebook Messenger, an Instagram Messenger, saying, you wasted 6 months of my life, I look exactly the same, I followed exactly what you said, blah, 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 blah. And that's why I don't like giving this advice out, because I don't want anyone wasting time or money. But the fact of the matter is, unless if you're very good at it or willing to make mistakes, then you run that risk. I spent 5 years playing with my nutrition, playing with my training, playing with my health supplementation and everything in order to see how I responded best and what I needed to do to personally recomp. And now, again, I'm 9 or 10 weeks post-show. I'm up over 55 pounds, and I'm leaner than I thought I would be. I'm leaner now than I was when I was pushing up at 220 because I hit a body weight and I've been hardening up there. Now I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to push up to 260 and then harden back up. But there's periods of time when you're going to be holding fluid. There's periods of time whenever you're going to feel a little bit soft. But again, that's an extreme way to recomp, I have another guy right now where we're pushing up extremely hard, and he is up to 271, and he's getting leaner by the week, where we just implemented burger and fries post-workout, and I believe a free meal 2 times per week pre-workout. 2 times per week. And what happens is you are literally trying to turn your body into a machine. You want your body to just be building muscle and losing fat 24/7. Obviously, there's periods of the day where you can plan growth and you can plan fat loss. But the overall thought process should be, I'm going to force my body to do this. Because do you really think your body wants to be excessively muscular? It doesn't. But you can force it to do whatever you want it to, essentially. So I hope this gives you a little bit more of an insight. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Again, it's such a complex topic that I really can't give specifics because it just depends on the person. If I could give guidelines a little bit better, then please ask, and I'll gladly share it with you guys. As always, thanks for watching. Check out thepepcoach.com. See you next time.